Hello everyone. It is 9:30. It's almost 9:30. It's time for the stock hour. Let's make it happen. We are going to do the same thing we do every time. We are going to look up stocks where we could have some pumpers. And let's see how it goes. Alright, let's get the link for this thing. We're going to give it a few minutes, let people catch up. Alright. So we'll get started around 9:33. We'll wait for a few people. Alright, so we are just getting ready for this. What else was there? USAU. USAU, there was PED, ENRJ, many others. But that's all I can really remember off the top of my head right now. Mara. Okay, so let's do this. And we got about 5 people watching right now. We'll wait to see if we get another couple people here. And we're gonna do CSSE first. Hello, Narendra. AC. We got Shadi. Let's do this. So let's see what this one is first. CSSC. I haven't seen this ticker, but let's see what this ticker is looking like. Okay. So this one right here, we have some resistance at this level right here, 938. All right. So we try to cross above that resistance and we weren't able to. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be hovering around in this area for a few days. And if we are unable to, we're going to try to get above 918 one more time. and if we are unable to get above 918, we are going to probably break down, and we're going to come back down to about the $7 area. That's pretty much what it looks like right now. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea as to what you're looking for, and it lets you know what's good. All right, so we have that, and had recent news similar to HMNY. So this, okay, so you got a whole bunch of subscribers, or what type of similar news? Well, it's an acquisition. Okay, so I got news on the 2nd. Not much news actually. So this is not real stuff here. At a bargain. Okay. Chicken soup for sole entertainment buys. Yeah, it's not similar news, because if you look at HMNY, HMNY got a whole bunch of good stuff. They got a huge number of subscribers. Okay, so if you take a look at what they got, it was around September the 15th, I believe. So they went from 20,000 subscribers to 400,000 monthly subscribers. That is a huge boost. Movie Pass surprises. So basically, it has something to do with that. For us, for this one right here, it's a little different. The other thing is that, HMNY for the longest time it was consolidating. People were just racking up, shares, buying, 1,000 a day, maybe 2,000 a day. Who knows? Maybe hundreds of thousands a day. We don't really know. We don't have that with CSSE, right? This is a new IPO, I believe, and yeah, so they just IPO'd recently. Again, if it can get above 928, it's unlimited how high this can go. First stop would be like 11.56, and then $13. If it got above 13, it would just keep on going. So that's basically where we are. And that's basically that one there. ENRJ was beautifully pumped yesterday after hours. So let's take a look at, let's start with ENRJ first, because I saw a lot of people talking about this one. And let's take a look, November the 6th, and ENRJ. Again, there is no manipulation on my end. I'm going based on what I see in front of me. I'm looking at stocks that don't have a lot going for them, and all of a sudden people want to, be trading those stocks. So that's basically what we're looking for, right? We'll go under $3 again. We're gonna go over under 50,000 shares traded, and we will look at. Okay, so we'll say this week up, right? And these are all the stocks that aren't supposed to be moving, but somehow they had an attempt to make a move. And I don't know if ENRJ would be here because the average volume is a little bit more. So let's look at what actually moved, right? So this one didn't really move, didn't really move. CHNR didn't really move. No. Nothing here, nothing there. CYRN, that was a gap up, so obviously there's market makers involved in that one. CTHR, let's see if this was a real move or if it was pumped. And remember, pumping doesn't necessarily mean that you just have to talk about the stock 15 times. It could also mean that you have a huge following and you know that if you alert the stock, it will actually make some sort of a move, right? So this one actually ran for 3 days, so I'm not too worried about that one. I think I should focus on stuff that only moved just once, had a spike and came right back down. Not much here. Maybe I'm looking at the weekly thing. And the weekly thing says that these are still up. Maybe it's not a good example. Let's focus on today. Actually, we have shippers, so we can look at shippers as well. So I'm gonna start with tops. Let's see if these were actually, supposed to be moving, or, people were trying really hard to get them to actually make a move. Because there were days where they didn't have a lot of volume, and like this one right here, the stock, this could have been a pump around, around 1 o'clock, because the stock jumps right up and it comes right back down. When a stock jumps up and it comes right back down, that's when you have to be careful, right? So that's basically one of the things that we need to be looking at here. IZEA, TVTY, we'll look at those in just a little bit. We'll start with tops here. November the 3rd. Oh man, I don't know if we can get back there because there's going to be so much going on in the posting and stuff. Let's take a look. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. Okay, this is definitely not worth it, because this is just today and it's after 6 p.m. This is not gonna work. Not a chance, because once we get into the open market hours, it's gonna be even tougher. Let's go take a look at the daily chart at least, and or the intraday chart at least, and see. Yeah, it looks a little bit okay, but you can see there's very little volume, and all of a sudden it jumps from 70 to $1.30. It's a low float stock right here, so it can move a lot faster if there is a pump. So that's basically that one there. What I see today was I saw PED was an example of a stock, and let's take a look at least that one there. Let's see if we can find something going on here. Maybe not. Who knows, right? So the reason I'm looking at this, as I can see, there's not a lot of people talking about it, and basically this person's already looking for it and saying who's gonna pump this baby. Okay, so let's take a look at November the 2nd, and what we have today is, okay, so the same guy here, PED heating up. So this person added at 33 cents. The same person, 3 posts. And what time was that? 2:22 p.m. That was yesterday. Okay, so that's very convenient, because the stock has almost no volume, and all of a sudden, somebody added 233 around here somewhere, and they thought this thing was gonna move tomorrow. So I mean, it was a lucky guess, but at the same time, we can see what happened. So let's get over to today, because yesterday doesn't really help us much. Okay, so we spoke about this person right here last week. This is a nice way to grab a lot of attention to one stock. I don't know how StockTwits allows this. This looks really dirty. Oh, okay, so this is another person. I've seen them in one post before. Oh, and they're using the same thing. So it could be the same one person with the same account. I don't really know. But again, you can see it's so messy. I don't understand how StockTwits allows this. Okay, this is another person here again. Look at that. There you go. So 8:52 and 1:46 p.m. a.m. So every 6 hours you have to deal with this. Okay, so here we go. So this same person, and again, the one that was apparently just watching it, and there's no one else looking at the stock. 10:03. Oh, how convenient. So 10:03 is right about here. So the stock was at about 37 cents, and this person got in at 36. So they definitely had a hand in it. And then this person got in at 38. Oh, okay. And then this person right there. How about that? Okay. So I've seen a lot of posts from this person and this person together, and this person and that person together. So I'm seeing some sort of a team. That's me right there saying, hey, watch out. It goes right up to that level there and it drops hard. Luckily, I have nothing to do with that because it started dropping after the fact. I mean, it dropped before I posted it there. So I don't really have much to do with that. But that's what we see here. Again, this is nasty because one person made money from 34 or even 33, whatever you want to call it. I would say 34. Let's take a look here. So someone made around 23% on this stock by pumping it, and it's not nice. I mean, it's really nasty. I'm not gonna suspect anybody, but I don't see anyone really talking about it, right? Other than this person right here, and then this person right here, and that person right there, and then this person here, and then this person. So this guy's always following. He just is nice, and then this person right there. So these are the 4 people that I see that are really on this one because I don't really see many posts from this person on the stock either. What does it say? I'm calling it. It's going to go up at least 15 cents within a day or two. Okay, so today it went up. So let's just say call it at 34. It didn't really go up 15 cents, but at least you can see what happened there, right? So you got to be careful with these things. And luckily, we had nothing to do with this. I liked it because I've traded this stock before and I thought it was ready to go. But then I did come over here and I saw people posting on it. So I was like, okay, we got to get out and we got to stay out. So this person's saying being dumped. Perfect pump and dump. This guy has always been around to help people, and his efforts are much appreciated. So again, another one here, trying to draw attention to this stock by posting all of these stocks, and supposedly this is allowed. All right, you got to be careful with that stuff. That's exactly what's happening here. By saying this, I'm in at 152. They're hoping that people that are watching all of these stocks will see that that stock is about to move, and when it moves, they'll basically jump in or whatever you want to call it. So you got to be careful with these things. What else do we have? So I think none of the shippers are really any sort of a pump because they obviously had a lot of volume. This one goes up from 136 to 158. Not bad. How much was the volume yesterday? Again, very little volume. What do we have here? So yesterday we had 286K, which is not bad, to be honest with you. The average is 532, so we had about half of the average volume yesterday, and I guess it's not that bad. But let's just take a look at what was happening with this one today. We'll go from the beginning of the day, see if we can find some similarities, some people to stay away from. So here we are, 9:23. So let's start watching. Let's see if we see any similar names. So Farne, this person is posted twice. Pennant, this person is posted twice, or 4 or 5, 6 times. So our friend is back at 146. Let's see where the stock was at 146. So dead. Trying to bring up a dead stock back to life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I see this person patent trying real hard to get this thing to move. Let's see if he actually got a position in it or not. I don't know. It doesn't really say much. We're really trying hard. I mean, with all of these tickers, in it. You know, it's something to be watchful for, and that's pretty much it. So again, apparently it's allowed to post. You're allowed to post a whole bunch of tickers with one ticker to try to manipulate that ticker. We were gonna look at IZEA, Google Finance. Let's take a look at this one here. So this one got news. They said they had the best earnings ever. That's why the stock is up about 25% after hours. Let's take a look at how high it can go. So it's sitting at around $4, and we're gonna look at that one there, IZEA. So somebody remind me to look at SHIP. Somebody wants us to look at SHIP. Okay, let's take a look at this one. $4. So I'm thinking tomorrow it'll probably run up to around 465-ish, around there. We'll see what happens. It was a risky move. I mean, it's not a smart idea to get into one of these. When they have earnings and it's a low float, it can drop real fast. So if it starts to run up, it'll probably go up to 465, and if it gets above 465 or around 492, and because it had the best earnings ever, it could actually run up to like $7 and 750-ish tomorrow, depending on what the stock decides to do. And we'll figure it out tomorrow, I guess. All right. So IZEA, boom. Yep, that's what it is. And what was the other one there? TVTI. Man, I remember this one. This one fell bad yesterday. Yeah, this one's done. I can see it coming back up to around 34.50 in the next couple of days. But otherwise, it's a real nasty drop. You can see it here. Look at this. It starts falling, falling, falling. It's like the computers are just selling away. Selling away. And then they short, short. And then they cover and make money on the way up. And then they short. And then cover again. Short, cover again. Short, cover again. And they just keep on going. Keep on going. And that's how it goes. So we covered those two. If there's any other stocks you guys want to cover, you can let me know. And that's basically it. So these YouTube lives, we're going to try to do them on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We're going to try to keep it at about a half hour so people can watch them later, so it doesn't take forever. But for the most part, honestly speaking, I've seen the pumping go down. I'm extremely impressed. I'm happy. You know, I got a lot of hate, you know, from a lot of people. Because we were making these videos and somewhat exposing them. I got a lot of hate, and if it only takes one person to get a beating so you can help a lot of other people, nothing wrong with that. You could always do that. It's not gonna hurt you forever. Pain is temporary. Results are permanent. Right? So deal with the pain, and in the long run, you're going to be perfectly fine. Just stick with it, and it's going to be good. That's how it goes. Let me see if there were any more stocks that I want to discover. So what about you guys? How was your day? How is trading going? How's life? Everything good? You know what I mean? So we needed to look at SHIP. Somebody said to look at SHIP. I just checked the messages. And okay, so what all the shippers did was they all gapped up and they closed red. Right? So all you have to do is just go and look at, so this one, okay, I can barely see it there. So they all gapped up and they closed red. DCIX is the only one that I can see that I can't really see that stock right now. I don't think it closed red. Let me see here. Oh, it actually closed red, but it didn't gap up. That's the difference. Well, it gapped up a very small amount. It gapped up from $20 to $25. So not a huge gap up, and it closed red. So whatever DCIX does is what the rest of the shippers are going to do. DCIX is the leader and everything else is just following along, right? So we have that one there. LBIX up 1500 today, tops, and MYO. MYO was a beauty. MYO was a beauty. So let's take a look at LBIX. Let's see what this is going to do. We traded this one on Friday for a small profit. Actually, a pretty decent profit. 202 to about 220, I believe it was, on Friday, on this day here. So this one right here, what I can see is I can see some sort of a triangle forming right about there. And from the bottom, we can go from here to about here. So we see this here. So what I would say is if you see the stock getting up around 190, or if it gets below around 169-ish, I would kind of be worried, and I would look to take a position going in that direction. And that's basically that. And let me save this so I can take a look at it later. It does look interesting. So I can't see the hourly or the 2-hour chart, but if I could, then I would have a better idea as to what I'm looking at. But this is sort of what I see. Or I can probably come up to here, going from the top. You gotta get above this level. So it does look like it's coming up a little bit. It's not good to follow the 15-minute chart. It's a little too fast. But that's basically what I see there. XNET, this was a monster. It moved up from 456 to 1327 in about 2 weeks. That's beautiful. This one right here, I can see it going up to about maybe $10.85, and then it's going to come right back down. This one's basically done. Don't expect this to get back up to around $12 or $13 anytime soon. It won't be for the next, at least 3 to 4 weeks. It might go sideways for a few days or a few weeks, and then basically turn back up and go higher. What did they do? There's some application software. Why did they start moving? October, in the middle of October, we had something. Okay, so they had good earnings. So there's a chance that we break out, but I mean the stock has already ran up almost 200%, and I think that's all it's really gonna give you there. LRTTF, I think that might be an OTC stock. I might not be able to get that here. LRTTF, no, I can't get it here, so I don't have access to that one. But that's basically it. But tops is a beauty. Let's look at dries for a second. Let's see where this can go. The only way I see this one moving higher is if they get news. So the resistance for this one is right about here at 564. If it gets about 564, I can see this one making a big move. But until it gets above that level, I will not mess with it. I will not touch it, even with a pole, because it's going to be a disaster. Another one that I was looking at today that was a beauty, FNJN, kept on moving. I saw it near the beginning of the day, but I didn't expect this right here. This would have been a really nice move, roughly $2 to $2.25, about 12.5%. It would have been nice, but it's a very unique looking chart. That's all I can say there. but that would have been a nice move. Our log, the monster of the day. What a beauty, look at it. Beautiful or what? Just kept on going and going and going and going, and that's basically where we are now. Again, not a typical chart. You would expect it to maybe go a little sideways or something, but a dump from 116 to 88 is enough to make anybody get out of the stock and think that it's not going to come back up. This looks like a much better setup here, which is just basically going sideways, and you can see what the stock did there. So there's that. So again, in regards to the pumpers, not much to be worried about at the moment. They've somewhat cleaned up their act, and we're just going to be okay with where we are now. If you see somebody with a lot of followers posting over and over and over and over again, you got to be careful, and you just got to stay out of their way. That stock will probably go up real fast and come back down real fast. As long as they make a profit, that's all that matters to them. That's I guess that's just how the stock market, the world's richest stock market operates now. They have people that have following them, and as soon as they alert a stock, the stock will move up enough for them to make a profit. And that's basically it. As long as they make a profit, that's all that matters. You don't matter. The person after you, before you, they don't matter. Nobody really matters. Only you matter. Only they matter. And you gotta stay away from people that are like that. It's a very selfish mentality. I can seriously look at this and say, it's a very similar mentality to Donald Trump. And I'm sure, he does rub off on some people, and, you can kind of see what they're thinking. Right? So, you got to stay away from people that are all about themselves, and as long as you do that, you're going to be perfectly fine. And I hope this video helps. I hope it's not too late. I hope it's, helping a little bit. So GSL, we'll take a look at a couple more. So this was a beauty. This one hurt quite a bit. I had an order to buy at 160 here, and it didn't work. It came back down. By the time it came back down, I was like, it's probably not going to move. I canceled the order. And the next thing you know, the stock jumps up to 163. It comes right back down, and then boom, right here, 160 again, and it just takes off. So these things are going to happen as well. It's a part of trading, and you just have to learn to deal with that. In regards to where the stock can go, again, I'm going to follow a second tier. So the first tier of shippers that moved were the ones that, that were low floats, that moved up real fast, and they went boom. We're probably going to get a second tier of shippers moving now. The second tier of shippers, you can look at the shares outstanding. They're going to be between, I would say, 30 to about 60, maybe 30 to 80 million shares, and that's going to be the next batch. That batch is going to move a little bit slower, but it is going to move, and you just have to give it some time. If you're looking for shippers that can continue to move in the coming days, all you have to do is look up shippers and look for the ones that haven't really moved much yet. So we're going to go to about 200 million, and we're going to say the average volume is above 200K. So these are the ones that haven't really moved yet, and they're probably going to move in the coming days. NOA, wow, that was a shipping company. I always thought that was some sort of, when it said offshore, I thought maybe it was, wow, that was, oh no, sorry, that one was NOG. That one is the one I was talking about. But this one can move up a little bit, up to about maybe $1.65-ish. GLBS already moved, RLOG already moved, CHIP already moved, TOPS already moved. So the only ones that are really left right now are OSG, and NAO, and why is Why is GSL not here? It has less volume than that. Or maybe the company is worth more. Oh, right there is GSL. So I guess the average volume is less than 200K. That's why 122K. So maybe one of these are still gonna move. Let's take a look. Ship. So they've all moved. It's really OSG and NAO that are left, and hopefully they're gonna move tomorrow or hopefully this week sometime. Keep an eye on those. NOG was a monster. This was originally alerted in the chat room at 88 cents. Uh, this is nuts. 88 cents or a little bit higher. I can't remember exactly right now. I think we started looking at it at 88 cents. And it just kept on going and going and going. Look at where it is now. So currently it is at some resistance right now, which is right about here. And we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't mess with it. I mean, the stock is up from 63 cents to, what is this here? 143. So you're looking at about 126, about 120%. The stock is up in a week or so, just over a week. I wouldn't mess with that too much. VTNR, man, this stock has shown up everywhere. They showed up on my scanner. They got some news after hours. And now AC is talking about it. I mean, sorry, Narendra. This one, I can see about 95 cents, which is right about here. I can see about 95 cents. If we get above that, we can probably get up to right there, or right about there. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Sorry, 157 is gonna be tough, but I can see a dollar. You know, $1.15. No, sorry, $1.05 to about $1.20. I can see that as a possibility. Oh yes, that's the one. It was at 90 cents. The alert for NOG, and it was quite interesting. All right, guys. So I think that's pretty much what we have right now. We'll see what happens with this one tomorrow. I mean, all the oil stocks are moving. Okay, so this is some waste management company, so not related to oil. So if it does move, it'll be interesting. Oh, they had earnings today. So they reported a loss and they're up, so that means they probably had better guidance, which is really good news. And that's basically where we stand. Alright guys, so if there's any other concerns, let me know. Otherwise, I guess we can call it a night and move over to tomorrow and see how that goes. So we had USAU spoken about a lot as well yesterday before the close. Let's see if there was anything there. It looked really good. It looked really good at the close yesterday, I guess because it was being pushed up quite well. Because it was kind of dead and it moved up on very light volume all throughout the day, and then right in this area all of a sudden there's a boost in volume and it spikes up. So what is this, around 310? Okay, so there's one person with the who seems to be on every page. So 310, do we get anything around here? Not much there. Okay, and then there was another boost of volume right over here. It just goes crazy around 340. Okay, that kind of explains it there. That person. Okay, there's another chat room there. There's another chat room there. There's another chat room there. Okay, so that kind of explains it. A lot of these people were just, you know, getting into the same stock, and it backfired big time. Okay, so what happened here? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Okay, so there was a whole bunch of volume in here as well. So you see what happens with the rest of the spikes. Every time one of the chat rooms posted, it went up and it came right back down. 2 o'clock again, there was a pump, went up, came right back down, and then no volume to follow. Right, this is the only time there was some volume to follow. You can see that here. There's some continuous volume, but over here there's a pump and no volume here. There's a pump here, no volume here. There is some volume here after this one, but at 2 o'clock there wasn't much there. So we continue to see the same people, and now after the hard work that we've done, we're seeing that it's really not working for them anymore. So congrats on that, guys. And let's see what happens after 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock it goes from 136 to a high of 146. Well, it goes as high as 148, and then it gets pushed up at 155 and it tanks right back down. So that's kind of nasty. Very, very nasty. It did find some support at the 50 SMA, the 13 EMA. If it crosses below that tomorrow, we're gonna have to run. It doesn't look that strong, and we gotta be careful. So yesterday's volume was 852K. Today was 491. So roughly just over half have already, you know, kind of moved out, or whatever you want to call it. MCEP, this was a beauty. This one does look good, but I see weakness here. If it closed above 130, I would be like, yeah, you know what, there is a chance, but I continue to see this resistance right here, right in this area, right about here, I would say. And until we get a gap up above that, around 140 or so, I can't expect it to run up to about 173 or 170 or 165, around there. But until then, I would kind of stay away from it. And that's basically where we are. Alright, so that's basically where we are now. And let's see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, we get a run up on the second, you know, run of shippers. And we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so thank you very much for tuning in. Unless you guys have more stocks to look at, that's basically all I see. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. And that's basically where we are. So we covered UASU, PED, ENRJ, MARA, tops we couldn't really get to because there was too much information. I guess the shippers are somewhat okay because you knew there was a lot of volume coming in. But everything else, you know, you got to be very careful. Alright, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sleep well, and we'll do this all over again. Alright guys, thank you very much, and have a good night.